I've been asked a lot of times what kind of coach, leader I am, and that's a hard question to answer. I don't ever know really when you cross the lines from the management position that you took on to true leadership, because I think that term leader is something that other people call you when you've earned it. But I have been called a leader by the people that I've led, and I think that that's because I ran in the trenches with them. That's my leadership style. So for the past 3 decades, starting out in the ranks of loan officer originations, I've been working in the mortgage and real estate space. I, for many years, was a loan originator and then a branch manager, an originating branch manager, eventually a district manager, a regional manager, and then senior management. Early on in my career as a loan originator, I started amassing some notoriety for winning. I had some early rookie wins, and then later I had some incredible come-from-behind wins as a loan originator at the very top, most profitable amongst a couple hundred originators, and then eventually in the higher ranks of all the positions that I held. This helped me get a reputation within the industry for winning and allowed me to share then my best practice tips and techniques for doing that. In senior leadership competition, I discovered that there were many things that had to happen. You had to have good morale, you had to have great communication, a vision, a plan, and you needed to be able to execute, and you needed everybody executing with you. That is a trick to perform. And I know I was up for the challenge, and it certainly tested me as a senior leader to get my teams to win at that size. I learned at this level that when you begin to compete with groups that big, you are really the coach of a sports team. Yes, it's banking, yes, it's sales, but that tenacity, that feeling that you get as a leader is so much like sports. I draw back on going to school for sports medicine, and so many facets of that played into my leadership style as a senior leader, and getting those teams to compete and be fierce while having fun and getting amazing results. At that level, I began to get the respect of my male counterparts. I have said and written that 6 times I went up for senior management positions against all men. I'm proud of that now, looking back, and those guys respected me. I took a lot of ribbing. I gave back a lot of ribbing. That's kind of the name of the game, but I earned their respect as a fierce competitor, and they weren't holding the door open for me anymore, because they knew if they let me in, I was going to fight to the finish to win and compete against those guys. So over the years, I discovered that many companies will promote the top producing guy and the best talking guy in the company as the trainer. And often that is not the person that can actually articulate or get the troops motivated. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. And then also sometimes they hire outside trainers to the inside that don't have the respect of the troops from career succession, from proving their wins, or maybe have never walked in the shoes of the people they're trying to train. And one thing I know about sales guys is they are going to only follow those leaders they respect. Type of coach that if I see a player running down the court about to take a shot or miss a shot, worse, I'm going to yell, take the shot, take the shot. And I think about when I was taking those shots and I was winning, I had somebody beside me. I can see the faces of the greatest leaders that I had when I took those shots, and they made me take the shot at the right time, and how that felt. And so, I've always been in the trenches. I've always run the paces with the guys, and I think that's why, I'm not afraid to sweat or fail, for that matter, or embarrass myself trying to take a shot and miss. I just really feel like the game is about taking the shot. So over the last few years, it dawned on me that my notoriety within the industry was increasing. I was getting asked a lot more to do interviews. I was starting to get nominated by my peers and subordinates, and some notoriety was building. I was winning some contests in the public arena, and the books came off the shelves and got published, and all of it became the perfect storm. And as much as I've loved leadership and being in the trenches, I decided to get in a different trench and go ahead and chase my dreams of being a full-time coach and make it happen. So some of those magazines that I'm writing for are obviously National Professional Magazine with Joel and Andrew Berman. Love that they made a column for me for 2019 called the Beckwith blog, where they're giving me an opportunity to have a voice in the industry about current matters that I hope everybody's going to want to engage in. And I'm super proud to be featuring Meet the Mentors, MEN capitalized, for Mortgage Women's Magazine with Kristen Marcelli. This idea was born out of her and I putting our heads together on how to attract a more male audience to the magazine. And we thought, why not elevate and promote and highlight the men who have opened doors for women. And so those features are about to hit in March. I'm super excited. I went out there and did my journalistic thing. I think you're going to love the articles and the men that kick off this whole 2019 series. I have a brand new podcast coming out with Jason Frazier called Mortgage X. We're going to do a little shock jogging, where we're going to take to the mics and we're going to invite some of the biggest players in the industry, whatever's current. We're going to bring people on that are controversial. We're going to bring people on to tell their side of the story. We're going to ask questions. We're going to be real journalists in bringing really great, disruptive, new word, podcasting out to the mortgage field. That's why it's called Mortgage X, and who better than me and Jason Frazier to do that. So now, after all of this stuff, I really feel like I understand what is missing in the mortgage industry. I also understand what's going on in the other coaching offerings and coaching companies, because quite frankly, I've been hiring those guys, those incredible guys, for the companies that I worked at for a long time. So, of course, I built my company to fit in and have a niche and offer something different than they're offering, and also solve to the problems of this mortgage industry, and to be state of the art so that it can go from here forward and grow where the mortgage industry is going. And everyone's been tuning in, I hope, to Power Women with Class, which is the show that's been sponsored by Class Valuation with Jonathan Tallinger and produced by Mortgage News Network, again with Andrew Berman, Joel Berman, by Michael Brown, the producer, and Richard Speck, and highlighting the highest ranking women executives, C-suite and senior level women in the industry. I'm just really proud of sharing their stories, telling their stories. These women have come out, they've been brave, they've been honest. And so if you haven't been tuning in, please do tune in. We're going to continue that series, and season 2 has just been penned. So we're coming back out, and this time we're going to be looking for women originators that are gangsters in the industry. So in ending, I want to tell you, I'm a mom of a 13-year-old boy, and I'm a girlfriend of a wonderful guy that has supported me through my career. I'm a sister to 2 wonderful sisters, a daughter, and I'm all those things, an athlete outside of work. I have hobbies that I like to ride, motorcycles. I have a great Harley. And that's me on a personal level. So just like you, I'm a human being that's out here trying to make my way in this wonderful world that we're in and be the best person that I can be and the most committed person I can be to the cause, both in my personal life and my professional life. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for joining me on this look under the hood with 2020 Vision for Success.